the one way, where we go one way, and that's west. So, you're probably asking if you saw the previous episode. If we're going west, why are we back here at home base? Well, we didn't have enough footage to get ourselves across the ocean, so we had to come back and get more material, and we can move the player. We're starting with that already. Alright, so I'm just going to make another axe. I know we got one already, but I want a second one. Then we could put the rest back. I am shaking like a leaf. We have more of this anyway, which helps. And this goes back. So, the usual stuff if you haven't kind of noticed in the audio already. This is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen. I'm trying to figure out which one's the tallest. Probably this one. Otherwise, it is held at a wide stance to prevent that, but it comes at the cost of accuracy, such as walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death. So, chest. So yeah, we're starting with cutting down more trees because we need to. It's not going to be an all-day affair. I'm not going to bore you through this, but I am going to get some things going, and we'll take care of the rest of that off camera. Yep, down. And one more. That way we're in the middle. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I'm just going to do enough to take care of the cows. This one. So we're gonna place. Okay, how about place? Place. Wow. So we're already starting with let's ignore commands. Yeah, the first couple of times, okay, yeah, maybe the wheat was a little too tall to signal that I want it to go there. And we can move the player. And we can move the player. And we can move the player. Alright, we need that as well. In fact, let's put that there. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. Let's just... Okay, we can move the player. I like it when we move the player. I press move the player, and we move the player. That's amazing. And move the player. No, we wanted to feed. We press the feed button and then it just goes and whacks a cow. Alright. We can move the player again. Yeah, almost through the fence. Alright, so I gotta position myself in the middle of this thing. I think I'm in the middle. More or less I am. And we're pressing buttons. Could react to that. So what I might do is just off camera, just after seeing how many logs I wind up getting, is let's see how much we got and then head right back out to where we were, trying to cross the ocean on a boat bridge, because that's the only way we can move. So yeah, this is more of a novelty at this point. We know we're not going to really make it, because if this were a quote-unquote 100-year game that Microsoft wants it to be, yeah, I'm going to be long dead before I ever reach. But, you know, the novelty is there. Let's just see how far we get before we croak or people just don't care anymore and we'll just quit. I mean, not many people care to begin with, but break. See if I can already plant a new tree or not. And we can break. Oh, we can keep that there. So we good. Oh, we got our 4. Now we just need to go there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to bore you with any more of this, so I'm going to go off camera. Probably the next Minecraft day we'll come back. And we're back. Dryer phase. We're finally just one boat away. I have also reoriented every boat so that the oars are pointing. So we're heading west. They're heading oars are pointing south. So okay, yeah. And we do that every time we head back around. Otherwise, it's just we're placing them straight. So that's how we move a little faster. Boat, 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 boat. Hoping that we will see land at some point. Boat. So I mean, we're not terribly far from where we've placed a crafting bench. And we're placing. And there's still no end in sight. Alright, while we reorient the boats, oars facing south, which it's very... gonna see if we can... Okay, over here. See if that piece of kelp that's not facing in our direction is reachable. And we need these out of our inventory. Oh yeah, that's definitely reachable. That is going to save us a lot of time here. Boat, 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 boat. Yeah, we can fill it up with boats. And make our way backwards. Place. Gotta pay attention here. Of course, we are putting slightly off to the right because we're trying to make the z-axis as close to 0 as we can make it, because it help not compound errors. And we are still not seeing any activity out there. I believe we've got plenty enough boats. We are still not in visible territory, and these will be the last 6 till we have to go and make more. And we have no kelp nearby. Those are just a little out of reach. So again, oars to the south. We know we don't have to go terribly far. I know I could put another one there, but we got one that's not that far away. Actually, oh we got a mushroom island, not that it means anything. Because we can't touch anything at this point. It is kind of a pain, but needs to be done. Yeah, turn the boat. Perhaps that's why I'm turning the boat. Yeah, see, it's right there. Plus, we know we're going to have to turn back anyway. As boring as this is, it is very important. And like I said, there's no real need to put a crafting table here because we got one we're not very far from. And once we have these boats oriented, this is significantly faster than it appears to be. And they don't have to be perfectly aligned to the south. They just have to be enough that we can look at the boat and get in. As you can see, we're starting to get pretty close to that table. A little more this way. We're very close now. I kept the cameras rolling because I thought we were closer than what it looked. But we are practically there. In fact, this is the last one to reorient. Now the speed would be a lot faster if we can just hit the button we need. Until we get to this one, which needs to be reoriented. This way. Can we reach it from here? Yes, we can. This is the boring part. This is so slow now. Pressing the inventory thing. Boat, 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 boat. All right. Boat, 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 boat. 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 And we went forward for some reason. Even though I did not touch any buttons to do that. There's the Mushroom Island, which doesn't really mean much to anything. Now in this case, we are placing the boats in the general direction that we want to go. But you also got to see how kind of pain in the ass it is to navigate these waters. Yeah, we'll just go with it. Boat. 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 Too much. A little more. More. Boat. 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 And more boats. Now we have a tall kelp that is not far from here. That one's a little... Okay, no wonder it's not placing. We gotta have a boat in our hand in order for the boat to be placed. Pressing the X. And we'll leave that one oriented the way it is. Now we're not going to have to go terribly far. To reach a kelp that we can reach and put a table onto. And of course, the more that, as I've shown you, that when we orient these boats, we can easily get back and forth because of our. You can look this way and this way, whereas on these, you can only look, in this case, forward. But if we need to go backwards, we need to kind of be able to face this way, and we need to face this way a little better. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough. Alright, every time I swear that I'm close enough. Alright. At least now we have something that we can see and we can go for. I think we might be close enough now. Let's find out if we are. Not yet. Maybe this one. Well, apparently that wasn't close enough. And we can't, of course we cannot leave the boats, because then, yeah, we can turn. Can we? Alright, we can reach there. Show. Alright, so pressing buttons. Pressing buttons. Probably should act to that. Alright, that's as far as we need to go in that direction. Yeah, the other crafting table's right there. Oh, we could have died. I stupidly hit the get out of the boat button. I mean, yeah, we can stand on the boats, but we can't. In the westerly direction, we cannot run. The reason we left this boat facing the way that it is that we are facing the direction we need to be going. Place. There we go. Boat left again. Place. Place. So close, but so far away. And the one boat which we might be able to reach a kelp. The boat. Let's see if we can. We can. That's good. This again, exciting and fun this can be. I was gonna try and take the blocks and move them around while they're being decompiled here. Now we go to boats. Might have done too many. Well, I didn't see anything fly away, so that's good. Turn. A little more. Little more. Little more. There we go. Straighten that boat out. Can we reach that still? No. I mean, while we're here, we got a few boat. I mean, while we're here, and we're not facing the direction of our movement. There we go. Another ocean monument that we need to avoid, and we're pressing a button. Pressing a button. Placing. And yes, we're still placing slightly off to the right. So it looks like we got another ocean monument. Although what we could do is boat our way around it. Place. Place. I mean, we got a little ways to go before we reach it, so. Placing to the right, we should be fine. And now we have enough boats. Place, and any. All right, so yeah, I'll pause the video. We know the drill. We gotta orient the boats. So that they're facing the same direction, so we know which way. We can just point to one direction and get to where we're going. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to pause said video at this point and bring it back. And we're back. And albeit not perfectly, reoriented the boats up to that crafting bench, and we've moved things further away from that. So we're going to have a land bridge that we're going to go on. So, place. Problem is, we gotta. Oh, there's actually space for boats. And boat, 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 boat. Place. Going all wonky again. Yep, board the boat. We're gonna have to go all the way back home again. Place. Boat, 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 boat. We're aiming for over here. Place. Yeah, we're not going to make that. That might be a little too far out. I mean, right now, we're good. Too far, too far, too far, too far. Actually, we don't have to do this. We can just... I'm just going to orient a couple now that I'm thinking. Gonna break these down again. I remember when it was so much faster. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of that. It's taking up a slot. And now these, which we can just place right there. And that over there. And remember to leave 3 slots. There we go. Place. Boat, 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 boat. Now, a couple of them are a little far apart, so if we have to head back home, probably smart to not just use them all up, although we could fully recover from that if we were to have to wind up dying. Place. Place. We're definitely far enough from that. And we're not terribly far from the not far from the crafting bench that we left over yonder. To be moving away like that anymore. We can turn the boat, not that much. Doesn't have to be perfectly parallel. You can turn, you can turn. There. Alright, good, we can reach that. So, and we've turned all those around, so it'll be easier to, from where we were, to get back to here. And once again, there's a pace you can go. Otherwise, it's not going to work. waste. Board. Yeah, we have to go back home again. Very painfully. To okay, the boats are actually okay. It is. Not that far. Place. Yep, board it. Board it. Back into the boy, this ocean just isn't letting. Okay, yep, grab it. Stick those two together. So boat. Yeah, we definitely have kelp that is tall and next to us. Alright, we're just going to orient boats till we can get to one that's near us. Oh, there's one right over. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this boat and move it slightly forward. And boats. Well, we don't have enough. Or this. Out of frame here, is we need that for this. And no waste. I'm just going to try and place. The idea there was to try to make it so that we can reach that table. Although we got a lot of kelp, of course, since we don't need it right now, it's plenty and it's there. Alright, so we don't have to go terribly far to make more boats. And we'll leave that one. Well, I wanted to leave that one. There we go. I'd like to try and leave the last one oriented so that it's going in the direction that we are trying to go in. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be better. And it needs to be better than that. All right. This one might be good enough. Okay, turn. Let's just want to be sure. Alright, good enough. And back. And gone is the Mushroom Island, more or less. Place. That should be there. I know we could probably move that, but starting to appear. I mean, not that we can walk on it or anything, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Didn't work, of course. I don't think we have to do much in the way of watch it prove me wrong. Yep, tall one right there. How much time's left? Alright, there's definitely time on the dryer. They gotta fix boats That's not a distance effect the way it's wobbling like that. They're broken, and Microsoft doesn't care to fix things. Yeah, excitement. So we'll come back. Yeah. Bring it back in a moment. Alright, we are on the last stretch. Because, as I'm touching things randomly, this will be the last stretch. It needs to turn. Okay, it was fine before. Place. And boat. This may not be the end here. Can we reach that? Well, let's just place this boat. We can turn. Alright, we can probably reach that one. Alright, somehow that happened, but doesn't matter. Boat. And more boats. And we are out of material, and yet again, we're going to have to we're going to have to rely on going back home, which will be off camera. Once we're done placing these boats, that'll be it for this video. That's better. Land appearing. Because if land appears, there could be trees which we can cut down and make planks so we can make more boats. We're pressing buttons that we're ignoring because we're good at doing that. We're about done. base. Oh, that's a bit far. We might be okay though. And our final boat. Board this. Well, there is land over there, but it's not over here, and it's plain, as in nothing. 8,389,787. So we're slightly more than 1,000 blocks away from the border. Yes, I said this is going to be ridiculously slow. This is more of a novelty at this point. And that is one way. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.